What's up, everybody? John Barron here in the Ground Sound studio, and joining me is the Nashville Rockers, the Delta Saints. What's up? First of all, guys, thank you so much. This is so surreal, I gotta say. I've been imagining this, like, just having you guys and having a studio. This is all very brand new. It's so surreal. Thank you guys so much, honestly.
I
know you guys just starting on tour, just getting on the road.
First night.
How was last night for you?
Awesome. Good. It was great. Usually the first show of a tour is always a little weird sometimes, right? Because you're busting off the rust, you're kind of getting into it, and then it gets better, hopefully. And last night was just incredible. Feeling the crowd, it was just really wonderful. And so afterwards, I was kind of thinking as I was going to bed, I was like, man, I hope the rest of the tour doesn't suck, right? I hope it doesn't just flip flop where you're like, it starts awesome,
I don't see that happening.
I hope not. I feel good about the whole tour.
But that was in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
So what's up by a lot of people throwing on, having a good show, or they put on a good show. You guys, the fans obviously represented. So you guys are out in support of your latest album, Monte Vista, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little about bringing this together into fruition and working on it?
Oh man, didn't know that it was going to happen. We've been writing the album for a good portion of 2016. And then right at the end of the year, we went into the studio for 6 days and just banged it out. We had no time in the studio to really go back and make huge adjustments or anything. Basically, what you hear is what happened, mostly live performances, and somehow at the end of that, we had this product that we were like, wow, this is really cool. We didn't know that for sure that was going to happen, even though we had songs that we liked, but just coming to the end of that recording process and it being the album that we have now is pretty cool.
Were you guys actually writing in the studio too?
No, we most of the writing was done kind of throughout the year. Last year,
gotcha.
we kind of purposely took a lot of the year and kind of holed up in Dylan's basement studio. And it was really wonderful because we'd never done that. We'd always, I think, written at a more faster pace or in the studio. And so this time it was like, no, we're gonna really intentionally focus on writing and relearning how to write and pushing ourselves to write even better than we ever have. So that was done throughout the whole year, and then ending the year with just like a nose to the grindstone. 6 18-hour days in the studio. Just really trying to kill it. And
now your lead single, California, which I've been rocking out to past week, just blasting it. Was this one of the first songs that you guys wrote for the album?
It was the first 3, I think. Within that first batch that came out, and it was such a cool heading for the record, because it came out, and I personally had been wanting to write a song like that. I wanted the band to really write a song like that for a long time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to have that come out and be like, okay, now the record has kind of a narrative.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It all has a West Coast kind of vibe, feel, and narrative to it, right?
Yeah, it was cool. It was a really great thing to start with because sometimes you can start with all these different pieces you don't know how they're gonna match up, and having that one and also Sun God, another song on the record, just to be like, okay, now we know where we're headed. We know where we're going. We know what colors to paint with. What colors to paint with? Yeah.
Look at that artistic.
Oh, artistic.
I love it.
That's fluff words that mean nothing.
As I'm painting my lyrics. David, what do you think about Sun God? What was working on that track?
Sun God's my favorite track on the album, just because it's kind of oh yeah. Just because it's rock and roll, and it has this cool, in the vocal harmony, especially this cool, kind of 90s throwback, which I believe is the golden age of pop and rock music. A lot of people will fight me on that, but that's when the best stuff came out, in my opinion. So having that kind of reflected in Sun God is really exciting for me.
And how did you guys all meet and come together? Just out of curiosity.
Started with David and I about 9 years ago. We transferred to a university in Nashville and started midway through college. You transfer in somewhere new, it's kind of tough to carve out your place. And so we both just started playing music in his tiny 1-bedroom apartment with 2 tenants. Started playing with a big group of people, and it kind of whittled down to what was the beginning of the band. And then over time, it all just kind of evolved.
Yeah, I met Dylan by
we had speech class,
and I stood you up for our final. Mm-hmm. We were partnered off in a debate. We had through the class like a fool.
Yep, still made an A on that because the teacher just allowed me to debate his outline, which I had,
which I destroyed,
which I had been provided previously, and so it was
the outline.
What did you get on that final?
A B.
Yeah. How'd you get a B?
I came in later. She understood.
No.
It was my last final of my last class in college, so I was just like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, worked out all right.
When I heard that the previous guitar player was doing something else, there was an opening for someone who played slide guitar, and I hit Dave up and was like, "Hey man, bring me on the road. Take me on the road." So,
and Vincent came into the scene. Are you originally from Nashville or
Kansas?
Kansas.
Yeah, I was a car detail at the time, and I got a text from a mutual friend from me and Dylan saying that this band that's on the come up is looking for a drummer. You should try out. And so I sent him a message. I was like, hey, you guys looking for a drummer? Here's some videos. Check me out.
It was game over. And it was game over.
It was really a pretty serendipitous situation because we were really nervous about our drummer situation. We had a previous drummer that was really had left big shoes to fill. And we were having a hard time locking down just the right kind of drummer. We know so many good drummers that have very different styles, but just like the right guy wasn't appearing for us. And we were kind of towards the end of that process where we thought we were going to be going with somebody else, and that happened just totally randomly in a random conversation with somebody at Wakarusa, and it just happened to be right. And as soon as Vince sent me a text and sent me a video, I was like, yes, that's
I was like, that video of him shredding Nola.
Yes.
It's like, oh man,
yeah,
that's awesome.
That's the guy for sure.
Very serendipitous.
I quit that bad one.
Well, life is full of coincidences like that, right?
Yeah.
So you guys we're in Cincinnati, you're playing in Columbus tonight. Moving forward, you guys are going to be on the road for a little while, and you'll also be heading to Europe too, right?
Yeah.
What are you guys looking forward to the most?
The Sprinter.
Honestly, for me, like up until now, the last 18 months has been about like putting out the record. And so now that the record's out, I'm kind of like lost of what to do with my hands. You know, you're just like, I
feel like this is weird. I don't know.
Like we should write. We should definitely write. Should we tour? We should definitely tour. So I don't know. I'm mostly excited just about at this point playing the record live on stage.
So,
and
really interacting with those fans. Huh?
Yeah, and just seeing like how they work out. Like it's such an incredible thing to witness somebody experiencing something for the first time. You know what I mean? So getting to play like California on stage and to see people who have no idea what the song is, and at the end of it, like kind of gauge their reaction. You know, like do they like it? Do they not like it? Like are they singing it by the end of it? You know, like it's just such a cool thing, and like to witness that.
Right.
You know, and so to be able to do that on stage with a new record, with 10 songs, is pretty awesome.
You guys have a lot to look forward to.
Definitely.
I wish you the best on the road.
Thanks.
Monte Vista, the Delta Saints, out now. Monte Vista is.
Yes.
The Delta Saints. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Right on.